Is there real documented evidence of the legend of black-eyed children as recently as last year? Was the original Slender Man tied to a real-life murder? Urban legends have a unique place in our cultural fabric. They often act as modern folklore that blurs the line between reality and fiction. These tales are usually dismissed as mere stories, whispers in the dark that tap into our deepest fears and curiosities. However, some urban legends have a shocking basis in reality, revealing truths far more disturbing than their fictional counterparts. In this exploration, we dive into 5 of the most chilling urban legends that, against all odds, turned out to be true, in order of how disturbing they are. Number 3 explains the real horrifying reason why you should check your Halloween candy carefully before eating it. Our number 1 is so disturbing because credible documented evidence of paranormal activity has recently been witnessed. These stories are not for the faint of heart, as they expose the sinister realities lurking just beneath the surface of our everyday lives. Number 5. The Legend of Cropsey, Staten Island's Boogeyman. The legend of Cropsey has haunted the children of Staten Island for decades. Described as a boogeyman lurking in the shadows, Cropsey was said to kidnap children who ventured too far from home. What makes this tale truly terrifying is the discovery that Cropsey was not just a figment of imagination, but a real-life monster. In the 1970s and 1980s, Staten Island was gripped by fear as several children went missing. The community was on edge, with parents terrified to let their children out of sight. The legend of Cropsey, a deranged killer hiding in the abandoned Willowbrook State School, began to gain traction. Willowbrook had its own dark history, once exposed for its horrific conditions and mistreatment of mentally disabled children. The true horror unfolded when Andre Rand, a former custodian at Willowbrook, was linked to the disappearances. Rand was arrested in 1987 and charged with the kidnapping of Jennifer Schweiger, a 12-year-old girl with Down syndrome. Her body was found buried on the grounds of Willowbrook, confirming the community's worst fears. Rand's connection to other missing children was circumstantial, but chilling. He was suspected in several other cases, although there was not enough evidence to convict him of additional crimes. His disturbing behavior and proximity to the disappearances made him the embodiment of the Cropsey legend. Number of missing children, several, with at least 4 suspected to be linked to Rand. Willowbrook expose. In 1972, Geraldo Rivera's expose on Willowbrook brought national attention to the institution's deplorable conditions. Conviction: Rand was convicted of kidnapping and sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. Number 4. The Legend of the Bunnyman, Fairfax County's haunting figure. The Bunnyman is an urban legend from Fairfax County, Virginia, involving a maniac in a bunny suit terrorizing locals with an axe. This seemingly absurd story becomes spine-chilling when we uncover the true events that inspired it. In October 1970, Air Force Academy cadet Robert Bennett and his fiancée were visiting relatives in Burke, Virginia. As they sat in their car, a man dressed in a white bunny costume approached and began yelling at them for trespassing. The man then threw a hatchet through the car window before fleeing into the night. A few days later, another sighting occurred, this time involving a man in a bunny suit chopping away at a porch railing with a hatchet. The local police investigated but found no concrete leads. While no one was ever apprehended, the incidents were taken seriously by the authorities and reported in local newspapers, cementing the legend of the Bunnyman. Over the years, the story morphed and grew, with many adding their own embellishments. Despite the lack of a definitive conclusion, the documented events of 1970 lent a chilling credibility to the tale. Original sightings: 2 confirmed incidents in October 1970. Police reports, filed by Fairfax County Police, lending authenticity to the legend. Cultural impact: the Bunnyman legend has inspired movies, books, and Halloween attractions. Before we get to number 3, are you enjoying this video? Like, subscribe, and get notified for more spine-chilling mysteries. Number 3, the Candyman, the true story behind the poisoned Halloween candy. The urban legend of poisoned Halloween candy has terrified parents for generations. The fear of strangers tampering with treats has led to countless warnings and safety measures. But the most disturbing aspect of this legend is its basis in a real horrifying event. On Halloween night in 1974, 8-year-old Timothy O'Brien died after consuming a pixie sticks laced with cyanide. The investigation revealed that his father, Ronald Clark O'Brien, had poisoned the candy in an attempt to collect life insurance money. O'Brien had taken out life insurance policies on his children and distributed the poisoned candy to his son and several other children to cover up his crime. Fortunately, the other children did not consume the candy. Ronald O'Brien's actions were premeditated and meticulously planned. He had inquired about cyanide and attempted to purchase it prior to Halloween. His motive and actions were uncovered during the investigation, leading to his conviction and eventual execution in 1984. Victim, Timothy O'Brien, 8 years old. Murder method, pixie sticks filled with cyanide. Conviction, Ronald Clark O'Brien was found guilty of murder and executed in 1984. Number 2. The Legend of Slender Man. From internet meme to attempted murder. Slender Man is a modern urban legend born from internet forums and creepypasta stories. The tall, faceless figure who stalks and abducts children has become a cultural phenomenon. However, the line between fiction and reality blurred in a chilling and tragic way. In 2014, two 12-year-old girls from Waukesha, Wisconsin, lured their friend into the woods and stabbed her 19 times. Their motive was to prove their loyalty to Slender Man, whom they believed was real. Miraculously, the victim survived and crawled to safety. The attackers, Morgan Geyser and Anissa Weier, were found to have been deeply influenced by Slender Man stories. Their belief in the fictional character drove them to plan and execute the attack. Both girls were tried and sentenced to long-term mental health treatment. Victim, 12-year-old Peyton Leutner, who survived the attack. Attackers, Morgan Geyser and Anissa Weier, both 12 years old at the time. Legal outcome, both were committed to mental health institutions for extended periods. So what could possibly be more disturbing than Slender Man and intentional child murder? Before we get to our shocking number 1, are you enjoying this video? Like and subscribe. Number 1, The Legend of the Black-Eyed Children, Encounters that Defy Explanation. The legend of the Black-Eyed Children involves eerie encounters with children whose eyes are entirely black. These children appear at doorsteps asking for help or entry and exude an unsettling presence. While often dismissed as a modern myth, some documented encounters suggest there may be more to the story. Reports of black-eyed children began surfacing in the late 1990s. Witnesses described similar experiences, an overwhelming sense of dread, the children's insistence on being invited inside, and their jet black eyes. One of the most famous accounts comes from journalist Brian Bethel, who encountered 2 black-eyed children in Abilene, Texas, in 1996. While there is no concrete proof of the existence of black-eyed children, the consistency of the reports and the genuine fear expressed by witnesses add a layer of credibility to the legend. Paranormal investigators have documented numerous encounters, though skeptics attribute these to hallucinations or psychological phenomena. First documented encounter, Brian Bethel's account in 1996. Common locations, reported encounters in the United States, United Kingdom, and other parts of the world. Witness descriptions, consistent reports of black eyes, pale skin, and an eerie presence. Urban legends have a way of capturing our imaginations and preying on our fears. While many are dismissed as mere stories, some reveal dark truths that are more horrifying than fiction. The cases of Cropsey, the Bunnyman, the Candyman, Slender Man, and the Black-Eyed Children demonstrate that reality can be just as horrifying, if not more so, than the legends themselves. These true stories serve as a stark reminder that sometimes the monsters we fear are real, lurking in the shadows of our everyday lives. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe.